Muy buenos días. Oí español, quiero empezar con español para felicitarles al equipo de España. Y tenemos un día con mucha suerte porque empezamos con un arco iris, ¿no? Okay, you all ready to do your presentations in Spanish? We've decided to have a bilingual case competition. Qué bueno, qué bueno. What a great day. Did you see the rainbow that we started with this morning? We've had a little bit of drizzles, but we got a rainbow over the Santa Monica Bay. It's really spectacular. So welcome. It's great to be together this morning. And what's really wonderful is we're starting the day together, and we're going to end the day together with our awards banquet this afternoon, or late this afternoon, this evening. So here's how we're going to do this for the 90-second presentation. For the next hour, we're going to have the 90-second presentations. I'm going to ask each of the senior judges to introduce themselves, and then we're going to begin in this order with Judge Jason West and the Red Division. Sura has these organized with really nice color names like Azure. I don't know what Azure really is, so I'm going to call that blue. So anyway, please be patient, okay? So in any event, Jason West will begin with red, and he will select the order of those presenting. The senior judges will call on the team. The team representative will come up and do the 90-second presentation. And then the senior judge will call the second from that division, who will present, and then the third, et cetera. Then the senior judge from that division will give feedback to all of the teams in his or her division at the end. And then following that will be the blue division with Bill Murin and Tom Fain, followed by the orange division with Gail Bernstein, and then the purple division with Barney Rosenberg and Rochelle Ferris. Okay? So if I could ask first our senior judges to please stand and say hello, maybe starting Barney, Rochelle, we can just, okay. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Rochelle Ferris. Some of you have met me before. Was a former consultant for SAP and PeopleSoft in the software industry. I retired and now I'm a hospital doctor.
I'm Barney Rosenberg. Some of you are new to this competition. I am not. This is the 25th year that I've been doing this. I love it every time. I'm a public lawyer and former ethics officer for a global aerospace company.
Hi, good morning. I'm Bill Murin. I'm a retired healthcare executive. I served on 4 boards at the present time. And this is my 5th year of being in competition.
I'm Tom Fain. I'm a retired securities lawyer and Bill's partner.
I'm Jason West. I am the Chief Insight Strategist at Analysis Group, and this is my 8th year judging, first year as a senior judge, and I am most recently a doctoral student, so you're accompanying another student as well.
I'm Gail Bernstein. I'm a career banker. I'm now retired Executive Vice President from PNC Bank. I mainly finance acquisitions. I speak Spanish because my grandparents were born in Mexico, and I did do my junior year abroad with NYU in Madrid.
Okay, to Jason.
For our first group, I'm going to start with Greenway Consulting Group. Greenway Consulting Group, please. We'll have you as our very first 90-second presentation. Quick second there, right here. Okay. You get the timer? Okay. We're going to do it for all of us. Thank you. Greenway Consulting Group. I can, if they aren't ready, I'm happy to.
Well, do you know what color it is?
I don't know the color.
Who's Greenway Consulting Group in here? Right here? Okay, so it goes like this entire red division. You go, you line up, so that when he calls you, we go through.
Yes, ready to go. And Barney, you'll be doing the timing, correct? All right.
Is there a way for me to? Okay. All right. There we go. Can you guys hear me? All right. Does someone give me like a...
Let me reset it. Go.
Imagine a world where electric vehicles drive us towards a more sustainable future, and BYD, the world's largest manufacturer of electric vehicles, leads the way. This vision is within reach, and we at Greenway Consulting have a plan for BYD to become pioneers in eco-friendly transportation. Our approach, aligned around UN Sustainable Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production, has 3 E's. First, extracting responsibly, where BYD joins the International Lithium Association and implements cutting-edge lithium extraction technologies. This will preserve valuable water resources and bring water to millions of indigenous communities in Chile. Second, expanding sustainably, where BYD expands its presence in the United States. This will eliminate over 5 million tons of carbon dioxide in the next 10 years. And finally, embracing recycling, where we create a closed-loop supply chain by implementing a direct recycling facility in our Lancaster plant. This will ensure that we keep toxic chemicals outside of landfills. By implementing these strategies, we can make BYD pioneers in responsible consumption and production. Isn't that what we all want? A cleaner, greener future for everyone? Let us help you build your dreams and implement BYD's 3-step plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And second group, Top PRISM Solutions. For your 90-second elevator pitch, please.
Can I just take a moment? Sustainable development is a matter of life, and it applies to every single one of us without no exception. And to solve this problem. With great power comes great responsibility. As a global leader, I think it is time for us to take a step and make a big change to make a better world that could be sustainable in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, MB Consulting for your 90-second presentation. Thanks.
Thank you. So my audience is going to be the director of the ESG team, and his name is Jeff. And he's a friend of mine. He's a smiley guy. Great. So hi, Jeff.
Can you please use the mic? Otherwise, we can't capture you on the video.
Absolutely. Can we restart? How's that? Hi, Jeff. Thank you for meeting with me. It is great to be here. We are excited to share with you this opportunity that MB Consulting has. We have a few solutions for you regarding electrical waste that we think can be implemented for profitability, but for sustainability reasons as well. So first, we recommend that neon signs can be replaced with LEDs, that slot machines can be updated to be more energy efficient, and ultimately that ventilation systems can be replaced with renewable resources to offset some of the costs. So all 3 of these are going to be measurable, which is perfect for your ESG reporting purposes because we can say that we're ultimately eliminating some of the waste that our goal to reduce 25%, targeting SDG number 7. We truly believe that this is a great opportunity for the team. We think the buy-in from some of the other executives is going to be great because it is profitable. We believe that the sustainability purposes is good for marketing in that document. MB Consulting believes that good is the only way to do good business. So we recommend you being a sponsor for this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, MB Consulting. Next up, Sura Consulting.
Hello, good morning. As an immigrant, I know firsthand about the negative effects that the fashion industry has on my native country of Ghana. Right now, our country is overrun with used material, and so it has basically become the landfill of the fashion industry. Forever 21 has been a pioneer in using fashion to express yourself, but looking at what is happening in my country, this is not sustainable. Therefore, as we look at what we think sustainability is all about, sustainable development, it is about looking at what our activities are doing to our fellow man, the environment, as we fulfill our needs now, and then looking towards the future to make sure that the future generations, they are not going to have a worse off environment to live in. At Forever 21, we have been able to reduce waste materials like in the landfills by prevention, reduction, and reuse of materials. And so I think that enacting artificial intelligence to do that, to maximize our use in that way, to minimize overproduction would be very helpful. And so as we use that to reduce dead stock, okay.
Thank you, Sura Consulting. Next up, please, Common Ground Consulting.
Hey, everyone. I'd like to just set the stage a little bit. So I'm on the elevator at Lavazza headquarters, and the CEO of Lavazza, and the CEO of Lavazza Group, Antonio Barval, walks onto the elevator.
Check your mic. I think it may be off.
Can you hear me? Excellent. All right. And if you could start the timer when I start talking, that'd be awesome. Okay. Oh, hi. Great to see you. I'm Daniel from Innovation. I know this isn't the right place, but I really need to talk to you. I just got back from my vacation in Colombia. When I was there, I visited some of the farms that we source our coffee from, and I realized that our sustainability efforts aren't going to make a dent. The number of trees that are being cut down every day and the amount of chemicals they're spraying on these crops is mind-boggling. All around the world, farmers are using technology in order to reduce their environmental impact. But these farmers, our coffee farmers, aren't able to think about saving the environment. They're worried about saving themselves. They're making less than half the minimum wage. And we're talking about 500,000 farms in Colombia alone. But I heard about a proposal the board is considering. It got me really excited. I know that we can provide a financially feasible solution that will help set us on a better path. We can provide technology and training to these farmers to help them reforest their fields and reduce their environmental impact. We can cut chemical use by 50%. Nobody in coffee is doing anything about this today. It's got me really worried. Soon enough, there aren't going to be farms to grow coffee on anymore. But if we invest in this, we can reverse the damage that's been done and put the coffee industry onto a path to a brighter future, with Lavazza leading the way. I'd love to meet with you to share more of the details. What do you think?
Thank you, Common Ground Consulting. Last up from my batch, 181 Consulting.
Set the stage a little bit. Can you hear me okay if the mic's just here? Is that all right? Great. So my name is Bobby Curry, and I'll just introduce our topic a little bit. So I am the new VP of International Business Development at Moderna, and I suspect that our CEO, Mr. Stefan Bancel, is going to be joining me in an elevator very shortly. Okay. Oh, Mr. Bancel, what floor? Oh, me too. Actually, I need to talk to you about Africa. I just got back from the new Kenya plant, and it is going to be incredible. It is absolutely exciting to see so many new jobs and just this excitement to bring some control to vaccine production back to the local communities. I am a little worried about capacity, though. Did you know that 2/3 of Africans still don't have access to their COVID-19 vaccines? That's a lot of people we need to reach. Stephen said that there was a consulting presentation about licensing. I think it could be a really good idea for us. One of our researchers in Kenya has actually been working with the Knowledge Transfer Hub in South Africa. Great facility, and they could offer us some flexible production capacity with licensing. That's really where we need to go with this. Really, how can we not choose that? There is so many good reasons to support sustainable development and set future generations up for success. But we know that there's going to be some challenges. We have already a huge amount of inequality in our vaccine production. Vaccines are going to high-income countries first. We really need to see some equality in that production. This strategy of licensing gives us local partners for local production. We know that our vaccines are supporting the sustainable development goals of healthcare and economic prosperity. This is where we need to take our business and deliver on Moderna's mission to bring mRNA technology to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, 181 Consulting. Next senior judge, who will be...
Would you give me the list real quick? Thank you. All right, good morning. We'll start with Viridis Consulting first, then Blue Ridge Consulting, then Span Consulting, and then Cleveland Consulting. So it's Viridis, it's V-I-R-I-D-I-S Consulting.
So when talking about the possible acquisition of Monsanto by Bayern, among the ongoing concern of the carcinogenicity of glyphosate, which is the main active ingredient of the herbicide product Roundup, it's very important to make sure that we're well informed before making this decision because it's our responsibility. We have a very strong role that we have to play with our society, and we have to be very well informed before making such a big decision. The ethical analysis of this acquisition is very important basically for two reasons, because it ties very closely with the SDG number 3, more precisely 3.9, because by 2030, the United Nations want to reduce substantially the amount of deaths caused by hazardous chemicals, and also because it goes to the heart of the excuse that large corporations make when they when we're considering the negative effects that sometimes their decisions have on our environment and on our society overall. And this excuse, it's ignorance. So it's also very important to keep in mind that the greater the perverse effect, the greater the responsibility there is to act with certainty. And in this case, we're talking about there being a close link between Roundup and the non-Hodgkin lymphoma, which is a type of cancer. So these are human lives. This is no joke. Also, Bayer has the means to be further informed, so it's not good enough to just turn a blind eye and act like nothing is going on and continue with the acquisition. It is their duty to be better informed before making the decision to make this purchase. Thank you.
All right, next up is Blue Ridge Consulting.
Reimagine the way the world moves for the better, huh? What about the way the world is for females? Where do we fit into this equation? Where do I fit into this equation? My name is Rebecca Dubois, and I'm the Chief Ethical Consultant of Blue Ridge Consulting Group. And earlier we pitched the concept of a female-only ride option and an improved gender-based review system. The female-only ride option allows for female riders to opt to have a female driver and female drivers to opt for female riders. The improved gender-based review system is a fail-safe in the event that no female drivers are in the area. Riders will be able to sort the reviews of drivers in the area based on the reviews of other women in order for them to select the safest ride option. But this doesn't just help improve gender equality. It also will significantly increase market share and revenue at Uber as more women sign up to become drivers, more women sign up to take rides, and in turn, everyone makes a profit. Uber Female is simple. You create a safer world for me, you create a safer world for us, and in turn, watch how many doors are opened. Thank you.
Next is Span Consulting.
Morning, and thank you, everybody. My audience will be a Monsanto executive who ideally we're in an elevator with. And once I start talking, I appreciate it. So, as we already know, the brand of Monsanto has been under incredible scrutiny between farmers and the general public, and it's costing us our reputation and billions in litigation. My team and I have created a plan that would allow the company strategies for change, which will help us restore the brand name. These changes will result in cost saving and regaining of the public trust. As a company, we feel it is vital to improve our ethics by educating the public and farmers about the risks of the current products produced by Monsanto, primarily Roundup, which contains glyphosate, a known cancerous carcinogen. We should educate our consumers and stakeholders about the substantial benefits that come along with GMOs, while at the same time sustaining honesty about the potential risks. By providing this education to the public through simple ways like online training for farmers, we can mitigate much of the liability from lawsuits. We're not saying throw glyphosate out the window overnight. However, in time, odds are the world will be shifting into more sustainable chemicals used for agriculture with similar effectiveness. And by implementing an ethics audit team within the company that manage corporate honesty and truthful communication with the public, we can store a lot of that lost trust. Once we regain that trust, eventually when we switch to greener products for cost saving and sustainability, the public and the stakeholders will have faith in our claims and our product, keeping our company thriving. Thank you all.
Our next presenter will be from Cleveland Consulting.
Just to set this tone real quick, I am in an elevator at the IAJU institution. I work there and I run into the CEO. Our world is lacking in financially responsible, sustainable, and ethical leaders. Can you imagine a world where all SDGs are valued and met? We feel there's a missed opportunity to collaborate on a shared ethical normative framework throughout all Jesuit universities. We notice there's a lack of unity to create these ethical leaders. But most importantly, Jesuits are missing to collaborate to form and fix all of the SDGs. It's time to respond to the sign of the times. We are proposing the implementation of the integrated justice model, which promotes business ethics and sustainable practices to encourage and inspire morally courageous leaders. This includes authentic engagement, co-creation of value, investment in future consumption, and representation of all stakeholders, and finally, focus on long-term profit management. These 5 tenets can be found on United Global and are super accessible for all Jesuit universities and contribute to solving the SDGs. But more specifically, quality of education, responsible consumption and production, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and finally, partnerships for the goals. As a 4th-generation Jesuit alum, I know there's a great reputation for integrity, which is why we are marketing and promoting the IJM so like-minded leaders can come together and thrive. Let's attract, inspire, and accompany. This serves as a regenerative ecosystem in that providing a framework grounded in a 500-year tradition that responds to still the current needs of society. Let's invest in our future and create a more sustainable world and adopt the IJM today. Thank you.
Who's next? Judges?
Is that me? Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to go in order, so let's start with Arvor Consulting.
Can you announce what color you are?
Oh, I'm orange. I mean, that's what I call it. Tangerine. Okay. Okay.
You guys, I was trying to keep it so I could do gestures, but that's no, all good. Can you guys hear me? All right, fantastic. All right, so for some background, we're presenting to Camargo Correa, which is a Brazilian construction company, on a project to improve the infrastructure through affordable housing in Sao Paulo. Our current project at Avora Consulting looks to improve the infrastructure of Sao Paulo, Brazil through the use of affordable housing to create a greener future for the city. We will accomplish this goal through the use of a public-private partnership where Camargo Correa enters an agreement with the Brazilian government to construct these buildings in exchange for maintaining control of the property after construction is complete. This results in a steady stream of income for your company through the collection of rent from tenants as the buildings are completed. Further, Camargo Correa is uniquely suited to take on this project as they have a history of innovation, a high focus on sustainability, and ethical standards and experience needed to take on a project of this scale. And even more, your competitors, OEC and Chiara's Galvo, both have ethical and financial issues that prevent them from taking on this issue. Additionally, there's a high focus on sustainability for this project, as our focus is making Sao Paulo a more sustainable city for the future by making it so that people do not have to commute from outside of the city and are able to live and work within the center of the city without having to take helicopter rides, as there have been hundreds a day for the past decade or so that are resulting in immense amount of emissions across the country and raising their pollution levels to extreme levels. Further, we think that this project will be a huge success for both Brazil and Camargo Correa, as we think that Camargo Correa can successfully undertake this project and complete it in a successful and timely manner. Thank you.
Okay, Dionysian Consulting.
Good morning. In 2013, Amazon announced its exhilarating new objective to revolutionize the delivery system as we know it through drone delivery, with a desire to remain undisturbed from this breakneck pace of this technological era that we all find ourselves in, and to create something lasting to even outlive Bezos' eventual demise. Prime Air was born, a delivery system that promises to be zipping across our city skylines and delivering packages within 30 minutes or less. Now, unfortunately, since its inception 9 years ago, Prime Air has not lived up to its promise whatsoever, and has instead faced relentless setbacks. We feel Amazon is too overly enamored with the futuristic potential of the technology, and has instead chosen to neglect immediately useful applications of readily available drone technology. Through clutching on to far-fetched intentions such as 1 million drone deliveries within the next 5 years, and urbanized 30 minutes or less deliveries, Amazon is not able to weather the storms of serious concerns such as ethical, legal, sustainable, and financial problems that can plague the entire existence of the program. Our suggestion for Prime Air and Amazon is very simple. Walk before you can run. Use drones in places that we can immediately have the regulations in order to do so, and stop reaching for the stars, and instead use this technology to help those that are able to use it. Thank you.
Okay, the M Opportunities Group, because I can't pronounce that word. There you go.
Ouch. Ouch. I'm a hand talker. I need this. Sorry. All right, can we hear me all right? Okay, good enough. Decent work for all. That's how SDG 8 begins. A prosperous future for all Canadians. That's in Lithium Bank's own vision statement. But for a prosperous future and decent work is farther away for some people. In Alberta, an Indigenous person only makes 63% of the provincial average. Time is up. We need to take this as a wake-up call. By providing local communities with work, we can directly benefit SDG 8. Local is the other key. But we could do what the oil and gas industry is doing and fly people in from all around the country, or we can use buses and bring in local workers. This will also protect our bottom line and save us $70 million a year. We can also tap into the geothermal resources at our brine locations. This clean, renewable energy will make our carbon footprint effectively zero. It's also cheaper and will be a revenue-generating resource, giving us $5 million a year after the brine is gone. Decent work needs to begin with the people that need it most. Indigenous Canadians are more affected by unemployment, underemployment, and health issues. As a Lithium Bank executive, you can directly strike against income inequality, protect the environment, and lead us towards a hopeful future for the next generations. Thank you.
Okay. Jurassic conscious.
Is this good volume for everyone, or microphone up? What are you thinking? All right. How about now? All righty. Mr. Lamb, so glad I ran into you. As we go through and see the company go through its startup phase, we've seen a lot of progress. But now, while I have you here, I'd like to talk about the long-term sustainable development of the company. Colossal sits alone in the de-extinction space. Over time, we've raised $225 million through funding over 4 rounds. But as that first mover advantage goes away, we need to ensure that we have long-term growth as we go along. With this, we're uniquely qualified and capable to create a change. While other conservation efforts and groups have the effort and struggle of not having funding, we have a sustainable plan in place to have growth and the backing of investors with all different experiences and knowledge. With this, let's take a step back and look at SDG 15, Life on Land. With this, it's promoting and protecting the sustainable use of ecosystems while stopping land degradation and biodiversity loss. If we correctly choose and implement species throughout time and replace species that go extinct recently, this gives us the opportunity to stop human-caused degradation and allow species to thrive and survive over time. With this, if we combine a consistent mission and clear statement, we could cause and create a symbiotic relationship between our mission and society's most positive aspirations. We could have continued investment while animals thousands of miles away from where we're standing right now will be able to survive. With this, everything's on the tip of our fingers and we can grasp it. We just need to make the necessary changes right now.
Mountain Ridge Consulting.
Okay, I'm gonna set the stage a little bit. I am an employee at UPS, and I'm getting into an elevator running into a human resource executive. A critical part of sustainable development is ensuring the safety and decent work for all employees. As an employee at UPS, I'm proud to be part of an organization whose core values are tied to a customer-first, people-led, and innovation-driven perspective. I believe that at UPS, we need to make some changes. With over 100 heat-related illnesses and 2 deaths in the past 4 years, I'm scared. I'm scared as an employee that I'm going to go to work and face these same dilemmas. I read the SDG goals, and SDG goal number 8 is tied to economic growth and decent work for all. And section 8.8 highlights that decent work means promoting the health and well-being of all employees. I want just this for UPS. I hope that in the future, I will be able to have my requests for AC units in these vehicles that I sit in and day out filled, and AC and climate control in those vehicles as well. Because as summer approaches, I don't want to be one of those statistics that sits and faces a heat-related illness. This is my floor, but I really hope that I see some changes at UPS. Thank you.
Okay, first up, Adelaire Consulting. Purple? Atelier.
Can you hear me okay? Perfect. Like many of my colleagues, I joined Rent the Runway to capitalize on its innovative solutions for sustainable development. Rent the Runway posits a paradigm in the fashion industry, focusing on sustainable development and facilitating the shift to a more sustainable future. The rental process is facilitated at this moment by pure dry cleaning initiatives that seek to extend the product life cycle and improve the overall consumer experience. But despite being a pioneer in this industry, Rent the Runway struggles with the ability to reduce material consumption and improve the consumers for their future endeavors. At the same time, it's important to note that Atelier B Consulting is focusing on Rent the Runway's future. For Rent the Runway, we focus right now on sustainable sourcing. However, a lot of the sources that we currently see are focused not only on are not focused on simply the sustainable solution, but on the environmental degradation that we face today. Improvements have to be made in terms of dry cleaning to meet these standards. Our dry cleaning as it stands poses environmental consequences and health consequences for the communities that we see on a daily basis. Those adversely affected are also influenced by industry trends regarding environmental degradation in the textile industry. We also see astronomical CO2 emissions and a lack of change among industry competitors. Executed properly, the rental industry could propose a final solution for all of our consumption needs and reduce the overall need for excess production capacity. Because consulting, oh, apologies. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Top Hat Consulting.
Top Hat Consulting has introduced the RACE initiative as a means of aligning the current water bank with key sustainable development goals, such as peace, justice, and strong institutions, zero hunger, and clean water and sanitation. The Kern Water Bank is an invaluable asset and must be treated as such if California hopes to see effective water management for future generations. Previous management of the Kern Water Bank has created an imbalance of power and practices that's simply not sustainable for the long term. We believe the RACE initiative will help this board determine the equitable actions you can take to become responsible managers of water. Examining your organization through this lens will allow you to identify the weaker areas of your management, such as transparency and a conflict of interest. It will also help you identify ways to overcome these weaknesses, to develop a sustainable water management system that meets the needs of the present without compromising the future of your state. Sustainable development is all about implementing functional practices today for a brighter future tomorrow. Water is a critical resource. It's a human right. As one of the largest governing boards of a water bank in the world, it is your responsibility to ensure that water is managed peacefully, equitably, and sustainably for the benefit of all. Don't race to the bottom of the reservoir. Race towards sustainability. Thank you.
Next up is GR&P Consulting.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so we're talking, I'm talking to the UPS Board of Directors. Okay, you can start. So, hello, my name is Joaquin Martinez. I am the CEO of GR&P Consulting. And did you know that you can reduce your fueling costs, prevent legal liabilities, and achieve your sustainability goals starting today? By licensing our partners' groundbreaking solution, you'll be able, your current fleet of expensive, environmentally and health damaging diesel trucks will soon be able to run on environmentally friendly, but also financially friendly biofuels like ethanol. Going electric immediately is difficult. Relying on one kind of fuel, whether it is electric, a biofuel like ethanol, or diesel, it is not a good option for a business. Our solution diversifies your fueling possibilities with a single investment in insulation and no further investment beyond that. Our solution should reduce your fueling costs by around 30%. It is absolutely legal and will prevent legal liabilities caused by the negative effects on the health of workers and communities caused by diesel exhaust. With more than 38,000 people around the world dying prematurely from diesel exhaust effects, and with laws like the one in California prohibiting the sale of fossil fuel-driven vehicles by 2035, it is now the time for your company to transition from old trucks to new diversified machines. Thank you.
Okay, consultants for sustainability. Last but not least.
All right, so just to set the stage, I'm a sustainability consultant and I just ran into a major executive from a technology firm. AI is the future, there's no doubt, but it has a massive flaw. That flaw being AI bias. When your AI is trained on biased or inaccurate data, it can become prone and primed to creating discriminatory decisions. When left unregulated, AI bias can propagate existing social issues, such as gender discrimination and income inequality. To not regulate and acknowledge AI bias is to be unethical. Now, imagine this. You're a young college graduate, and you hope to establish yourself within the competitive investment banking industry. You spent years building a resume that you're proud about. You apply to so many companies, application after application. Unfortunately, you receive rejection after rejection. You're sad, disappointed, depressed. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What you didn't know is that each one of those companies utilized a biased AI. And as a member of a marginalized community, you were a victim of AI bias. As a leader in the tech center, you have an opportunity to embrace our 4-part AI bias mitigation framework. And by doing so, you'll be standing at the forefront of confronting AI bias. To achieve this means to reduce inequalities and maximizing the overall good for your stakeholders. Thank you.
That was really good, and that was really hard. And I want to honor both parts of that. Judges, any observations that you would like to share?
I was reminded of the time in the 5th grade when I could not stand up in front of a class and read one sentence. Very impressive. You guys are terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought the presentations were outstanding and the memory skills, wow.
Everybody was terrific. I'm impressed, really impressed. A lot of hard work. That's not easy to do, so congratulations.
I'm going to echo Barney's comments, and I was reminded of about a decade ago when I was first in graduate school, and one of my peers was so panicky on stage. We had a lot of exercises, and I had the privilege of seeing her at the Apple Worldwide Developer Conference speaking in front of thousands of people 2 months ago. Or it was last year rather, but preparing for that meeting. And it's just so impressive to see that your comfort level builds. You're young right now, this may be your first time on stage, this may be your 10th, but be kind to yourself and be kind to your colleagues and your peers in the program, because this is a lot of hard work, there's a lot of content behind what you're delivering to us as the judges, and I was so impressed with, how so many of you are nailing it today.
Oh, no, dumb desk, I'm not getting up. Anyway, I thought everybody did a great job. It's hard to get up front, but these skills will really benefit you in business. It did me. And if you're not comfortable with it, just keep practicing. There's stuff like Toastmasters, be in a play, whatever. But again, when I first started out, I was able to be like on a panel. And if you're in sales, I could hit 200 people at once. So, having those skills is great. And so this is great practice. Some are more comfortable than others, but you can all do it. And, and many of you did. So congratulations and keep it going.
I'd just like to affirm two other things. Many of the observations really appropriately are about the how of presenting and the importance of building that skill. But I really want to honor your hearts, really the passion that you all brought for the topics that you shared, and also really want to honor the breadth of topics that you identified. One of the real blessings of this case competition is really to see the array of cases and the way in which you engage the Sustainable Development Goals with passion. That really is the profound takeaway. One of the things I also always think and share about speaking to any kind of executive group is one of the most important goals is not just the information you share, but the feeling you want them to have about you when you leave the room. You want them to think, I want to talk to her. She's really got something. I want to hear more about what he's sharing. I want to bring that person back.